Hi, I'm Dave Hilgendorf, and welcome back to video number 2 of a series based on the book called Jesus is at Work, Having Joy and Purpose at Your Current Job. Now, we are in the middle of part 1, which is called Here's the Problem. And in this second video, entitled Apathy and Misery in the Workplace, we're going to start to define and identify and describe this problem. In the book, I tell a story about a man named Sam. Sam seems to have it all together. A great family, a great job, managing a grocery store, but he feels empty and lost. He feels like there's no real purpose in his work, and he doesn't know what to do about it. While Sam is not a real person, his story represents the 65% of American workers surveyed who aren't happy with their jobs. They get up each day and punch the clock, but inside they're dying and desperate for a sense that what they do each day truly matters. They may leave their work in the office, but when they get home, they never escape this sense of lack of joy and lack of purpose. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is this so important that we take the time to talk about it? Well, I'd like to start to answer that question with some numbers. On average, you'll spend over 90,000 hours in your life working at your job. You spend half of your waking hours at your job, but when you factor in your time spent getting ready to go to work, commuting to and from your job, winding down when you get home, as well as any extra time you put in beyond a 40-hour work week, in reality, you're really spending over half of your life at work. So if you want to find meaning in your life and you want to change something in your life that might contribute towards more meaning and make an impact, it might make sense to at least spend some time thinking about your occupation, where you spend most of your time, and to take a hard look at what you're doing at work, how you're doing it, and what you're thinking about your work. You might be thinking to yourself, well, I don't hate my job and I'm not depressed when I'm at work. You're asking too much of people to get excited about their job. Working is a necessary part of life, after all. If I want to find true happiness and meaning in my life, I'm going to look anywhere but my job to find it. Well, I hear what you're saying, if that's what you're thinking. But I would say the attitude that you're describing about your work may not be what we would call misery, but I would call it maybe apathy. And you could argue that that's even worse. One definition of apathy is absence or suppression of passion, emotion, or excitement. A lack of interest or concern for things that others find moving or exciting. Can you relate at all to this definition when it comes to your work? Do you ever say things at work like, another day, same old thing, or thank God it's Friday, or man, that weekend was way too short? These may seem like harmless phrases to you, but the Bible says out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. So whether you're joking around or not, phrases like this I think do reveal to some degree your heart towards your work. And one way to describe this heart attitude might be apathy. Now, if you're like me, you've got plenty of people at work who you'd consider negative. And if you compare yourself with them, people, some of whom are downright miserable and many of whom don't seem to be Christian, you might get the wrong idea about this. And if that's your focus, you might think that the heathens that are out there are really the ones with the lack of joy and purpose. Well, in our next video, number 3, we're going to talk about this issue as it specifically relates to Christians. And in the process, we will hopefully further answer whether or not this is something that we as Christians need to be thinking about. See you next time in video number 3.